What's going on, guys? It's me again, your boy Jamesh, back again with another requested video, which is an update from the previous build video that we posted like a couple of weeks back. So this is like an update from that. So if you haven't watched that video, I suggest that you watch it first in order for you to better grasp or understand everything that we're going to discuss and talk about here. Right, so with that out of the way, let us take you to the build. So after fighting Sesh is like the breach Pinnacle boss, it dropped an Emmy on me. It's called Choir of the Storm. So when I first read the tooltip, I was very interested because we're running critical, right? And this one, it negates lightning resistance. So it's like the same principle that we have from the previous build we're in. We turned the enemies frozen so we can utilize the negation from elemental resistance. And it gives us 50% increased damage when the enemies are frozen. So I was very interested. Plus, it also says that every time you deal or hit a critical, it gives us greater lightning bolt. So when I first tested it, it was like, meh, the damage is not good. But I didn't know that there was like a skill link here where you can put in support gems, just like Elemental Storm. So after running several tests, I found that it's very viable. So if we had like a very good AMI here before, where it gives us like 3 levels for all spell skills. So when putting in Choir of the Storm, it lowers down the DPS from like 70 to 50. So I thought you may be thinking, oh, that's not good. It lowers the DPS down. But as you see here, this one is really strong. Currently it's just on the mapping support gems, but see if I remove them and then I just put in like say Lightning Mastery and then Rising Tempest for the DPS can go like yeah, make it like 3.7 if but builder, because I don't want like I'm more of like like an interaction kind of build better over like a one hit delete kind of build where you can only use it on the boss fight, which is like what 10% of what you're doing when you're playing this game. So I'm not into kind of like super all-out damage. And also, my testing ground is Simulacrum. If you go full damage in Simulacrum, it won't get you anywhere. Unless you are maybe Spark, which is very tiring to see. So I'm more of like, I want interactions, I want like technicality within the build. So yes, we remove this. Let's put in this and this. Okay, so let's take you to the skill gem support selection. So considered casting gives us damage, flat out damage. Don't worry about the 15% less cast speed. Is what the activator is if you hit a critical. So it just reads the damage. So maybe screwed, but that's fine. And concentrated effect, more 40% more area damage, because every time it greater lightning storm hits, it also hits like enemies closest to it, because there's like an area damage as well. So you see 496 if we put this one in 695, so there's a lot of damage there. And the next one is Spell Echo. So if you hit a critical, it triggers a lightning, and then it repeats the lightning itself. And then Spell Cascade, it does, the left and right the lightning. But the thing about this is, let's say it hits an enemy and the spell cascade happen. If it's an enemy, even if it's not very close to it, the lightning jumps to there. So it's very good when you're clearing breaches or deliriums. Yes. So that's there, and then when you're on the boss fight, you remove this, replace it with Rising Tempest. This one you leave it alone, because even though it gives you less DPS, but it's just paper thing. When it hits again, then that's another 999. So this one is better. Okay, so don't believe what the tool. You need to run test and test it for yourself, which I've already did, and I'll let you guys know this is the best in slot right now for Greater Lightning Bolt, Spell Echo, and Spell Cascade. But when you're on boss, then you put Rising Tempest. Okay, that's already there. And then the next one is Sigil of Power. We just put in Persistence. So when you do an F or a Sigil or Runic, then it would be longer. The skill duration would be longer. Yeah, so that's self-explanatory. Now the main skill, Eye of Winter. Why we use Eye of Winter? On the first video, I've told you that the critical hit chance is 12%, like the base critical hit chance. So unlike Sparks, like 8 or I think 9, 8. So you need to have like 1.5 pieces of gears or critical hit chance to make it the same. So that's why we're using Eye of Winter. Also, one thing why we're using Eye of Winter is because it's cheap. Because if you are using, let's say, Spark, then the best in slot for Spark is a Lightning Wand, where it gives you +5 to level of lightning skills. But if you're using Eye of Winter, you need to up this as well. So you need to use +4 to level of all spell skills, which is cheaper, very much cheaper. Because I think this one I got it for like 14 dips, like 2 weeks ago. So it's cheaper than getting a +5 lightning. Plus the upside for that is when you have 4 +4 to level of all spell skills, then all of your skills can be manipulated. Like say curses, if you have +4 level to all your curses, you see how big my curse is. Right, and this is the bread and butter when running T4. If I don't have curse, I don't think I can beat T4 with the current equips that I have right now. But if you have this one, they're very slow, and you can just kite them and put Orb of Lightning here with Orb of Lightning with Neural Overload, and they're all electrocuted when the lightning. Because this one, it gives the Orb of Storm, it gives you a chain every time it sees a lightning. So if it sees like lightning storm coming from every direction, then this like hits and hits. Okay, but we'll get to that. We're on Eye of Winter. The next one is Eye of Winter. So support gems, Arcane Tempo. It's mandatory, so you can cast. You can cast skill faster, and inspiration, less cost, self-explanatory. Now this one is like I cannot work on this build without mobility. So, but it can work because you can like replace this with say conduction, and then just remove this, and then put in like your put in your main globs here, and your mana would go like 6.3. But if you put this one in, it's just 5.4. But I would accept that because it gives me a slot to put in mobility. So imagine you're running breaches. If you don't have mobility, you're fighting like this. Whereas if you're See how fast I can move with mobility? You can dodge and dodge, weaving and bobbing just like Mike Tyson. Yeah, so mobility is a must. It may not work for you, but that's how I roll. Okay, this leverage. So again, initially our critical hit chance on the version 1.0 is 100% to trigger this AMI. But after running several tests, I found that it consumes a lot of skill tree nodes. And so the version 2.0, what we did is we lowered down the critical hit chance to 50% and then just use leverage so we can have 100%. But in order to do that, you need to make sure that the enemies are immobilized right away. So immobilized could be electrocuted or frozen. So the first, all right, sorry, my cat. The first weapon of choice was the 3 dragon, which is this one. So this one, it converts lightning damage into freeze. So this is what I use on T3 Simulacrum, and I was able to clear it out. But on T4 it doesn't work. This one is better because if you put this one in, right, then you put this nodes. It hits hard and all the enemies are frozen the moment you hit them. They become frozen right away. However, it removes your shock because you could no longer thing would be converted to freeze buildup and not shock anymore. So you can no longer use double shock on this one, which is a bummer because this is our bread and butter for boss fights. So less DPS, but for me, the survivability on freeze is a-okay. All right, so the version 2.0, we remove this, right? And then we put in a good armor with 352 energy shield. It gives us 25 intelligence, crit chance, and then we put in Kitoko. I tested both Kitoko with 7% reduced cast speed, but I preferred dual slot because you can always compensate with jewels when I think I've compensated one jewel here to make this 23. It says 23 after proccing. Yeah, 0.23, which is the sweet spot when running this build. Okay. Where were we? Yep, explaining Kitoko. So Kitoko, since our critical hit chance is now dropped to 50%, right? We need to make sure that the enemies are electrocuted the moment we hit them. So how do we do that? So when it was 3-headed dragon and it's freeze, I use this Ami, leaping ambush. So it gives us 100% increased critical hit chance against enemies in full life. So remember the scaling for ailments to get inflicted is the damage you deal, how high the damage you deal, plus the modifiers like this ailments stuff. Yeah, increase magnitude of ailments you inflict or increase freeze buildup. So this is what I used when I was rocking the 3-headed dragon. So it's always frozen before, because you need to make sure they're frozen so you can have 100% crit rate using the leverage, using this one, the leverage. Right, so in Kitoko, what we did is again in cold, we use, if you prefer cold, the 3-headed dragon and over Kitoko, we use this leaping ambush. So your first hit is always a critical hit. If it's critical, then the damage is high, and then most likely that enemy would be frozen because you deal a lot of damage on the first hit, right? You get the point there. Okay, now if you're using if you opt to use Kitoko, what you'll do now is you spec into this. Electrocute build up, electrocute build up, electrocute build up, and then electrocute, damage taken. So this is just like 15, 30, 45, which I think is not enough because when I tested it, I need to hit like 2 or 3 before they can get electrocuted. So we need to find something to speed up that electrocution. And so what we did is we replaced our AMI with electrotherapy. So electrotherapy, it gives us 30% more electrocute buildup and skill speed. Now, if we spec on this electrotherapy, remember we need to be hitting on the first hit. We need to make sure that it's a hard hit so it can get electrocution applied instantly. So how do we do that? We got this first approach. So it increases 50% increased critical hit chance. We already have 50, right? We already have 50. So on the first hit, if the HP is full, then it's 100% crit. You would see a thunder, and that person would be electrocuted on the first hit. If not first, second, depending on the threshold of the enemy. But bosses, they immediately get electrocuted. Right. So that's that. What else? We're moving now to the Orb of Storm. Let's finish all of the skill gems first before moving into the next one. Okay. So Orb of Storm, we still have Fun of Mana, Fun of Blood, and Neural Overload. So Neural Overload is if you put that in, and they, even if they're here, and then this Orb of Storm hits them, then they would be primed for electrocution. So meaning of prime is it just lowers down the threshold. So as you can see here, normal enemies are primed for electrocution when they have at least 40% electrocution buildup. Magic enemies are instead primed at 60% buildup, where it used to be 100% for any enemies. You need to have 100%. But if it's primed, then if it's like a normal enemy, it would be 40% is a very low threshold, so it would be instantly electrocuted. For magic enemies, instead of 100, it's now 60. For unique bosses or pinnacle bosses, instead of 100, it's now 80. So more time to um, faster time to get electrocution applied or inflicted. Right. So next one is Frostwall. Yep. This is just to save you. Very self-explanatory. We have Cold Mastery, Icicle. So the the icicle would be less health, so you can trigger the damage straight away. Ambush for critical. Honestly, I don't know why it's here, but they're there. It's there. And Ingenuity, so you can like the recovery or the cooldown of Frostwall, because I always use this on Simulacrum to save my ass or put there for extra damage. Yeah. And Temporal Chains. So for Temporal Chains, we use our weapon set too, which is this one. It just gives us +4 to level of all spell skills. I'm not sure if there's like +5 level of all spell skills, but much better if you have that. Haven't um when it's to that where am I? There you go. So we got this all curses. Let's start here. Curse duration, curse duration, curse duration. Right. Later on, we're gonna see the mappings right here. This is the most efficient way of mapping on this build and not running it from the middle. I'll show you later. Okay, so curses. Curse, curse, curse. Yeah, all curses. And curse, curse. This one's course. Yep. All that to this. For this. Okay. And on the tooltip, it says cursed enemies are slowed by 29% without the 3 nodes because it's like level 24, right? So if you apply the increase effect or effect of your curses, then it can go like 50% more or less. Yeah, 50%. So they're very slow when they're inside. You would see in simulacrum that once they enter the purple circle, then they're barely moving. uh, yeah, so that's that. And what's next? Flammability for increased damage. I don't on the first build I always put E because it looks way better with the fire, but I got bored with it. Don't. But yeah, it's increased damage. So if your Eye of Winter passes through a burning ground like this, yep. So burning inscription to have a burning ground, then you have 50% fire damage added. Gain 50% fire damage added. So that's like extra damage you can use. And forgot about the support gems on the portal chains. We got Cursed Ground, Ritualistic Curse. I'm sure you guys already know all these. Hide and Curse for more effect, and Magnified effect just to make it larger. Right, so just follow this and you're good to go. Flammability, just burning inscription, focus curse, so it reduces delay. Because if you don't have focus curse and you sorry, not that. Yeah, if you put in there, it takes a while before you can see the burning ground. So if you have focus curse and it immediately pops, and you would see the burning ground. And then Arcane Surge. I'm not sure why that's there, but that's there. So Archmage. Archmage needs to be level 20 from support. Yeah, so there's like a breakpoint in here, guys. So make sure it's level 21. It gives more damage. It's level 20. You're missing out because there's like a breaking point. You can just Google breaking point POE too, so you would understand the breaking point. Or in YouTube, ball lightning. So for it's all the greater lightning storm, it's not always critical because the base critical hit chance of this is like I think it's oh, this is 10%. So more or less there. If everything is aligned, then probably 90%. But if you want to go like lightning warp, so what you do is you put let's say it's a boss fight, you put like a lightning warp there, and then you warp, and then you see this is now a shock ground. So if your Eye of Winter passes over it, then it gives you 50% lightning damage. But we put in overcharge, so increase magnitude of your shock, so you could have the double shock, more it hits more harder, and lightning exposure, which you don't need because it negates resistance because of the AMI. And yeah, I think that's it. So just on every boss fight, just put and then put yeah. So once the boss is inside the how do you call this? The lightning ground. If it's on the lightning ground, then you have better damage. Cool. That's it. All right, now gear selection. For gears, I'll just hover around. 98% crit, 33 increase cast speed, and +4 to level of all spell skills. Same as here. 99 critical hit chance, cast speed, 2 level of all spell skills. This one, critical hit chance, intelligence, cold resistance. This one, regalia. We opt to for elemental resistance and maximum mana. I think this one I bought it in trade. I got it for like 11 divines without the gems. And this one, Ingenuity Belt, I got it myself, but when I valed it, it gives me fire resistance, so that sucks. But that's fine. 80% is enough. I'm not sure what's the price on Ingenuity right now. And then already know Kitoko. So Kitoko, your lightning damage hits contributes to electrocution buildup. So that means it your Eye of Winter is now giving electrocution buildup. If you put in this electrocute, it removes the shock, and it a skill slot. So that's not very good. That's why I can like drop my I can drop 1,000 mana and the get the electrocution build up on here, and the 18 dexterity for regalia. Yeah, because this one it requires 65, sorry, 51, 51, 51 for you to be able to equip it. So this one helps a lot because it gives plus 18 dexterity. And for the boots or the sandals, we got like resist chaos and intelligence, and valid, but maybe light mana, elemental resistance. Um, Same deal. 87 mana regen, cast speed, maximum mana, cold and lightning damage. Gain 21 mana for enemy killed. Right, and this one, it's very important. This one was I have a very good Ami that I sold, and he paid me with melting maelstrom. So win-win for both of us. And then I'll show you how many Choir of the Storm I have here. With different, we got Talisman, Storm Charge, Mana Blessing. Because I tested the build so much, I tried so many varieties and stuff. Yeah, but currently what we're using is electrotherapy. Sad that I only got +5 to all elemental resistance. It could be 10%. Yeah, but yeah, I can make a different one because just the omens are very expensive now. The omen of corruption, so probably later. Okay, let's move on to the skill tree. Okay, start with here. Intelligence, 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 intelligence. This one, it gives us dexterity intelligence for regalia and 8% cast speed, which is good. Skill speed, skill speed, skill speed, intelligence, critical hit chance, and increased damage if you dealt a critical hit in the past 8 seconds. So crashing wave. Right, and then we follow the trail. We come up here to get more damage, critical, 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 damage and critical, deadly force, which is very good. Now, Eye of Winter, you cannot use Eye of Winter without projectile speed, so let's start with projectile speed. Projectile speed, projectile speed, projectile speed. We're gonna skip the trail, move up here, just to show you the projectile speed. Projectile speed, projectile speed, right? Plus acceleration for 40% more projectile speed. So the total we got 165. If you can get it to 200 with jewels, let's say you're very OP, you got so much stuff, and you want to like decrease your damage over or getting more speed modifier over of damage, then you can do that. The the more faster it gets, the better it, how it feels better when it's faster. Okay, moving back, going back. Oh yeah, this one. Controlled metamorphosis. I got this for like 20 divines. So that I can like get mental toughness for mana cost, and then unbound forces. So the shock duration, because if you use like double shock, it gives you 50% less shock duration. So to compensate on that, you need to have unbound force, and also gives you magnitude. This really fits well if you opt to use the three-headed dragon because it gives you duration and chill as well. But yeah, I just need it for the shock to be longer. Right. So if you don't have this, the metamorphosis, then you are bound to use this, right? To get this 3, and right, get this 3, and your your AMI would be mental toughness. So the downside is if you don't have electrotherapy, it would need like 2 to 3 hits before you can make the enemies electrocuted, which is no problems if you're only doing mapping. But if you're like me, my testing ground is simulacrum. So if you cannot inflict electrocution right away, you'll be swarmed by enemies. Yeah. Ignore. Okay, so following the trail. So metamorphosis, make sure if you want to have this, make sure it's on medium. What's this? Medium ring, because there's like varieties of ranges. Medium ring would have this circle, and all the circle that's in it, you can select them without having a leg, or without you see this one, I can like just click it without going here, right? So I got this in mental toughness. So if you have mental toughness, then you can put whatever AMI you want. But if you don't have it, then you're stuck with mental toughness to be instilled here instead of electrotherapy. Okay, so since we lower down our critical hit chance to 50%, our first hit may not be critical because it's very low. It's just 50%. So to compensate on that, damage versus full life, and then damage that are on full life, and this one is the key. First approach, 50% increased critical hit chance. So our first hit is always critical still because we have 50 from the base critical plus this one 50%. And when you do the first hit, that's the most important because when you hit them and it's critical, mm, mm, chances are 95% of the time they're already electrocuted. So if they're electrocuted, then all your hits would be critical because this one would now apply the leverage. So it's now 100% because they are immobilized. Got it? Okay, good. All right, so moving up here, we already did that. So if you don't know how to use the weapon skill set, so let's say you are already here. Now you click weapon skill 2, and then it utilizes the points for your next weapon. That's why it's green, and then you just put everything in curses. When you're done, go back to 1, and then continue the trail. Okay? Very easy. So here, let's talk about jewels later. Probably go down first. Critical, 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 and very important for the equipments that we have right now, the Kitoko equip. build up, build up, build up, and build up. This one, it lights up or it's lit because we have electrotherapy already instilled in our AMI. Okay, and we're going up. Critical hit chance, hit chance, hit chance, and click on this one. Step 2, and then get this as well. This is for your temporal chains. Okay, for the curse. All right, moving up. Here. Already talk about this. Projectile speed, very important. Here. And then you go down. Get this for maximum mana. Remember, we don't have energy shield. And then this, and then you get this. Eldritch Battery converts all your energy shield to mana. That's why we don't have energy shield. And then you get this jewel socket. We continue the trail. This, and this. We get MOM, Mind Over Matter. You know, taken from mana before life. So this is now your HP bar. If you get this, and then you go down here. You go here, and here. So breaking point is just to increase the duration of the electrocution, and also adds magnitude to shock and electrocute as well. Okay, and then get the skill slot, and then you go down here. This is very important. So if you don't have this, it feels very sluggish, right? So erraticism is very important when you're running Kitoko, because this one it reduces your cast speed by 10%. So to compensate, you get this easy. Okay, moving down, and then get this jewel socket. Get this jewel socket. Right. So that's basically it. What else to talk about? Oh, jewels. Okay, jewels. Let's start with the far left. Critical damage, spell damage, elemental damage. This is, I think, the best in slot for your jewel. Because if you go elemental damage and then cold damage, the DPS is quite a bit low. Because the scaling for cold damage right now is, let me show you. Eye of Winter. So our cold damage right now is just 331503. So if you put a modifier or a scalar for the cold damage, it doesn't do much because it's very slim. So the best in slot right now is if you increase spell damage, then increase lightning and cold. And if you increase elemental damage, it increases lightning and increases cold. So double whammy. That's it. And then same here. Critical, elemental damage, spell damage. And then spell damage, elemental damage, critical. This one, I would get spell damage and elemental damage replace the cold damage, but I just need the chaos resistance because our chaos resistance right now is just sitting at 40. That's why it's there. But later on, I'll find a way to up my chaos resistance. And this one is the same thing: spell damage, elemental damage, and critical damage, critical spell damage. This is very good shield duration, but I don't have freeze anymore. And another chaos resistance, spell damage, elemental damage, critical. This one is now the mana on kill. Okay, so spell damage, elemental damage, remove one critical, replace it with recover 2% of mana on kill. Very important when you're doing breaches, so your mana is always full. Recover 2% of mana on kill. The next one is spell damage, elemental damage, 2% of mana on kill, critical damage. The next one is spell damage, elemental damage. This is to compensate because if I remove this, you see 24. If I remove this, it's 25. It's not a sweet spot anymore. It feels a bit sluggish, but if you feel it's all right for you, then go ahead. But for me, it needs to be on 24, and if it hits erraticism, it should be on 23. Yeah. Okay. And this one, oh yeah, the cast speed. This one is spell damage, elemental damage, critical damage, mana on kill. Okay. So if you're running like, say, if you're running like Simulacrum, let's say you're on wave 13 or 14. So you click the thing, and then you put this one first, and then you put this, and then put Orb of Storm, and then you hit like that. Hit, and then takes a while. Yeah, as you can see, the curse is now. So you reapply, you do it again, and then you hit. Or you can put like that. Yeah. So add more flare. Or you can put, yeah, like that. So you have like lightningy, fire thingy. Lightningy, fire thingy. You see that? There's blue and red inside it. It's very cool. Cool. And what else? Yeah, I think that's basically it. I'm thinking of I think I forgot something. Yeah, so if you don't have metamorphosis, right? I would suggest that you for off for the three-headed dragon. It's much cheaper, right? And it works really well as well. Okay, so if you have three-headed dragon, so you need to just get this, right? Get this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. And you don't have to worry about cast speed, because if you remove Kitoko, you're gonna have a lot of cast speed. I would still use this, but you can now remove it if you don't have Kitoko. So just use this and then replace this one, the cast speed, with something else, probably same as that. Okay, someone is buying 10 divine. Okay, I need to sell this shit. I'm gonna miss you. Thank you for your service, Eagle Shell. Thank you for the 3 weeks. Alright. How much divine do we have? 39, let's go. Right, so where are we? Where were we? Yeah, so what you can do is you can use this tree dragon solid mask, right? And then everything I've talked about the jewel replacement, change the cast speed, and then if you want, you can change this as well, right? Now the AMI that you're aiming for that is you can now use mental toughness, or you can use leaping ambush. If you have leaping ambush, you can remove this 3, right? Leaping ambush, remove this 3, and then put it here. Or you can do mental toughness and then retain this here. It's up to you, but if you are the damaged type of person, so what you need to do is, if you're the damaged type of person, remove this. What happened? Okay, removing this, right? And then you put this in. And then you, what else? Why is it only, oh yeah, here. Remove this. Why am I lagging so bad? And then you put it here. Right. Now you now have 709, but you can switch this one to double critical damage, so you can have 250, because when it hits, let's show you, when it hits, it goes 74, so you're just missing 15 to get 750. This hits like a truck, but why do you need that much damage if you can hit them one hit, and you can only utilize the super damage on a boss fight, which is like 10% of the content. So if you're that kind of person, I don't blame you. Sometimes I like to see big numbers here, but I'm more of like a reality check. Okay, so that's it for me, guys. Thank you so much. I'm trying to revive this YouTube channel, so show your support by sharing this with your friends or liking the video, and comment. If you have any questions, I'll make sure to try and answer them the best I could. And once again, happy gaming, guys. Don't stress about the builds. Just keep playing, be happy, and Bob Marley is your uncle. All right, ciao.
No, I don't take shit, I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no, I don't take shit, I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks, this and that. Spitting slow, spitting fast, I could roast, I could gas. Think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past. And the pettiness, a reflection of the emptiness. Hilarious, you think you're worth my time, you're delirious. Mysterious, because you hide behind a fake exterior. Inferior, you know I'll always be a bit superior. Get off of me, this ain't no humble brag. I want you to hear words, you can say them back. I want you to feel free from the chains at last, and to believe in what you got, it was built to last, yeah.
Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
Gonna learn the consequence of being incompetent. Mental health is confidence, dreams and some honestness. I'm not here to save the day, that's for you to take away. I could play a million mind games, but instead I say something not illogical, something that is topical. Rub it on and watch it go, make yourself unstoppable. Dreams are irresponsible, but they're always possible. If you just believe, you could be so remarkable.
Thoughts in my head, a collage and they spread. I'll be great one day, going off of my meds. No, I'm not giving up, no, I'm not giving in. I will make it to the top, taking off in the wind. I gotta make it, I'm saving every day to taste it. I'm patient, but my mind, it can hardly take it. I'm chasing a dream that I've had for several ages. A vacant, modern kingdom for the taking.
Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no
precious sanity, my agent of chaos.
I must travel light.
Shall serve me whether you like it or not.